Hi, this is Representative J.T. Wilcox, and I'm proud to serve you as your 2nd District representative at the state legislature. This week was an important week for the legislature in this short session. We had the first cutoff, and so many bills had to pass through their committees or they would die for this year and have to come back next year if they wanted to pass. And as always happens, there are some good bills that are still alive, and unfortunately there are some bills that I think are really bad for all of us that are alive also. The ones that concern me the most right now have to do with the economy and have to do with the privacy that all of us should have the right to expect. You know, transparency in government is important, and when it concerns what the government is doing, I believe that the citizens always have a right to know. However, there are several bills that are expected to take all of the information that the government has, in some cases about people, and things having to do with their private property and their private rights, and also having to do with businesses. And I don't really believe that it is right to share every single detail and have people metaphorically undressed for everybody to see. That just isn't right. And in fact, there are a lot of safeguards in federal law that were put in place during the 70s in reaction to some of the abuses of the Nixon administration. And for us to adopt an approach that says that every single piece of information that the government gathers should be available to everybody with a computer just doesn't seem right to me. That's not the kind of world that I think most of us want to live in. Now, when it comes to the economy, there's some good news and there's some bad news. The good news is that Representative Norma Smith has a bill that passed through the House just yesterday that does a pretty good job of trying to streamline the way the state handles permits. And a lot of this came out of a state auditor's report, and Norma had the determination and the skill to continue to push this through the House, and now she's going to have to get it through the Senate and then get the bureaucracy to really enforce a bill that will help get the private sector moving a little bit. There are also a full lineup of bills that, if they pass, will make it much harder for people to do business and harder for people to find jobs in the state of Washington. And these are all mandates on employers. And you know, one at a time, perhaps the economy could absorb them. However, these are one burden piled on after another. A lot of them coming from the city of Seattle, where people believe that what they think is right for Seattle should be required across the whole state. And the truth is that just isn't going to work for the people in the rural areas, and especially in the 2nd District, where we're still struggling so that people can find a place to work closer to where they live. So we're going to be working hard on getting Norma's bill through the process, the good bill, and also pushing back hard against the bad bills that are going to be job killers and bad for the economy. Thank you for watching my weekly video updates. Please feel free to call my office using the number on the screen or email me.